Hey, what's up everybody? This is ArmanaDB from ArmanaDB.com. Today I'm going to talk about bodybuilding, how selfish it can be, what I've learned over the years through my experiences, and I'm 33 now. I started competing when I was 18. This is more so of a video of things in the industry, things that people do to get ahead, and things that people neglect. We'll see how long this video is. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. So basically, I got into bodybuilding around 18. I was playing high-level soccer over Germany, Sweden, Denmark, on my way to be a professional soccer player. Then I had some knee injuries, which led me to working out, rehabilitating. So I went from a skinny soccer player to a 240-pound bodybuilder by senior year in high school. I didn't know anything about the sport. I just saw magazines. I saw how everybody looked so happy, the photo shoots, the hot girls, all that. And so I got into it because I like the look of that inhuman look, like not to look like everybody normal. So that's what I wanted to do. So I set out on this journey, not knowing what it was about, what was involved, or anything. So I came to find out a lot of crazy stuff during my career, short-lived career, or just taking a break right now from it. So I won all 4 of my first shows in bodybuilding. I had a coach at the time. He wasn't a good coach. So I pretty much had to learn my own body, which you really can't learn. That's how I became a good prep coach today, because you really can't learn how to dial people and how to do it just from reading content. You have to have the ability and the gift to do that. And I believe I do. Some may disagree, but that's fine. So I basically got into this sport, won all 4 of my first shows, just purely off genetics. I mean, I did my first steroid, I think, when I was 19. So my first show I won at 18. I think I took like clenbuterol and that was it. But then progressively over the years, I kept winning, kept getting bigger, learned my body more, met a couple good mentors, and then I'm going to fast forward. Okay, I win 4 of my first shows, go to the national level, do nationals, get 4th place my first national show. I was in 2007, yeah, 2007. Got interviews, got contracts, got paid contracts. I had paid contracts before that. Everything was so easy. I just had to put the hard work into bodybuild and work my butt off to get the money that I needed to get to pay for my supplements, my hardcore supplements, my food. I had a very supportive mom that loved, supported whatever I did if it was positive. So she saw the bodybuilding that was positive. So she would come to all my shows with me. She went to every one of my shows with me when I competed, up until 2014, because she passed away shortly before that. But she was my #1 fan, and that's all that really mattered. So keep going through this bodybuilding. I'm going to the Olympias, working massive booths, like one of the biggest booths, I won't mention the company's name, a very big company's name, at my first Olympia and Arnold Classic. I'm at age like 23 or 24. So I'm at a booth. It's like me, 12 girls working the booth, couple $100,000 booth they spent the money on, banners for me hanging from the ceilings everywhere. So what does that do to a 23-year-old kid that's won like most all of his shows? And it makes his head big. And so you would get, you know, arrogant, cocky, and, you know, that was my mindset. Like, I had to be that way to be the best in bodybuilding, or in life, or whatever in general. So I always had a big heart for people. So along the way, I would have people I saw that I felt that had good intentions, that I would lend a helping hand to. And you know, of course, I had to make my living through, you know, working several jobs, or eventually doing what I've been doing for the past 12 years, is doing prep coach and training. So you obviously have to make your money, but I think people neglect in bodybuilding being so selfish. Hey, it's time to tan, it's time to eat, it's time to train, it's time to do cardio, it's time to take my shots, it's time to take my vitamins, it's time to sleep. They neglect so many other parts in life, and that's something I didn't want to do. And so family was still a very big part of everything when I was competing. I loved my family. My mom was my #1 supporter. I had a, you know, great mother and father. They were madly in love till the day she passed away. So that's all I mean, that's what I grew up with. That's what I saw. That's what I wanted for myself. As I got further into the bodybuilding world, at that time, I started seeing kind of like the dark side of it. You know, all these, you know, like fans, just sending you money, asking for weird requests. Then I'm at the Olympia after party, and this is where I was shocked. So I'm at the Olympia after party. There's like a VIP section with a lot of top pros. I mean, the top pros in the world, several of them, and they're doing hardcore recreational drugs. You know, ecstasy, heroin, meth. Some of them, right after they stepped off stage, they're doing this stuff after their health's already compromised from being dehydrated. And you know, I was shocked. I was like, how are these people? I thought this was supposed to be healthy. I get the steroid aspect of it, like, okay, you cycle on, you cycle off, you know, you do blood work, but in the end, you know, every drug has side effects. You know, steroids do have side effects. You know, it depends whether you use them or abuse them. You know, some people can't handle getting smaller. It's a part of it. I've been natural for 2.5 years now. You know, my weight will fluctuate up and down, whether, you know, I'm eating or I'm not eating, because I don't have that same appetite that I did when I was on that stuff, and the same strength. And do you keep anything you gain from the steroid use? In my opinion, absolutely not. As soon as you quit, I say over about a year period, you lose everything that you've gained from the steroids. So what are you left with? You're left with the base that you've built over the years. You know, through the hard training, through relying on, you know, the training and nutrition. Some people rely on the drugs. Nowadays, all these young kids are so obsessed with the drugs. And so I make a couple of videos on YouTube here and there. I'm not trying to be like a superstar YouTuber, nor do I want to be. But it's just drugs is all it's talked about. Now I get it. It's some people's niche. That's the way they make it, and you know, props to them for making a name for themselves. That's what I didn't want to do that. You know, I make a couple informational videos about certain compounds, you know, just so I can educate people. Because when I was competing, like, you know, I see what these kids they start out with. So it's like they sign up. Like, people contact me. They haven't even been working out. They just started working out a couple months. They're already using steroids, or asking what best cycles are. You know, when I first started training, like, it was all about, I was eating 10 meals a day. I was drinking, doing nasty stuff to gain muscle, gain weight. I was mixing my protein shakes, like this Weider's 1,000 calorie weight gainer with half and half cream. So mixing this half and half cream, drinking, you know, all these calories. So that's how I got my weight up so much. I would eat till I was literally sick, and I would just eat and eat and eat. And So what happened through a lot of this process, I lost, a lot of insight of like the real world, what reality is about, what is life about, what makes the person happy. To me, a happy life is, finding someone you love, having children, having a family, living a clean lifestyle, living healthy, not drinking, not using drugs, being good to people. And it's hard now because there's so many bad things going on in the world. It's hard to, I help out a lot of homeless, okay? I've only made one video of me helping out one, but I help a lot of homeless. I'll see someone on the side of the road. I will pick them up in my car, and how dirty they are, I don't care. I can get my car clean. How dirty they are or whatever, go get them a haircut that day. Go take them to go eat. Take them to go get a bath. Buy some clothes for them. Do I have the money to do that? Honestly, not really. I have a lot of expenses right now and I'm paying a lot of debt back. But, I believe, you have to pay it forward in life. I'm not gonna make this video about religion or God or anything like that, even though I'm a Christian and I strive to be better and better every day. And some people might say, hey, comment, hey, there's no God, this and that. I've seen all those comments. It doesn't matter. That's your belief. If you believe that, that's fine. I believe what I believe in. And, I've talked to many friends that, are non-believers and tried to help them out. And a lot of them look at me and a lot of stuff in my past that, it's not horrible, and I'm not proud of. A lot of arrogance, a lot of pride, a lot of, like anger. And so so they judge on that, but that doesn't mean people can't change. So as I got older and older, I changed more and more for the positive. I had, unluckily I've had bad luck with women, so I had a lot of very bad relationships, very toxic relationships. And in those relationships, it takes two toxic people, two unhealthy people to be together. You're not gonna have a healthy person with an unhealthy person in a relationship. So you have to really look in the mirror and see what you're, I know I'm gonna go on a little off subject. I just make these videos and kind of ramble what I feel like talking about. But you have to look in the mirror and see who you are, see your faults, see what you need to work on and improve on that. A lot of times with bodybuilding, it's like, hey, I'm shutting out the whole world. All I'm gonna focus on is, myself and what I can do to better myself, and how much of a poser I can be, how much I can portray. I have this much confidence when your self-esteem is so low. That's what happens with a lot of these, bodybuilders. Their self-confidence, the bigger they are, the better they feel. It doesn't matter, it's your body. You're gonna get old, it's gonna wither away, you're gonna lose all your muscle mass, you're gonna get injured. Over the past several years, I've had, 6 surgeries. Each time I've dropped down to probably, a smaller weight. I mean, 210, some would consider that's not small at 5'10", but, and I stayed lean, but, did it suck? Yeah. Did it keep me from getting my pro card? Yeah, I should have had my pro card a long time ago. What does a pro card mean that everybody's chasing these days? Bikini girls, bodybuilders, whoever, all competitors. People are sacrificing things. They're sacrificing, their families. They're sacrificing, loved ones. Their anger is getting the best of them. And it's not worth it. You can do both and, not have to be so selfish about yourself. So I keep going and I keep bodybuilding, and then life's good. I'm making a lot of money from it. I'm doing very well. And another injury hits, a shoulder. I have two shoulder surgeries. So then I'm out a full year and a half from upper body training.